1:15 p.m. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The news edited by Catherine Pereira and read by Geethanjali Ramanayaka. The headlines. The Secretary to the Minister of Foreign Affairs says that the country will not agree for an external mechanism that is created by an external faction. The Committee Council meeting agreed to conduct the Provincial Council polls under the old system. A ship carrying 38,300 metric tons of petrol will arrive in the island. The electricity supply will be interrupted for 5 hours and 15 minutes today as well. Foreign news, hotline numbers to know information on Sri Lankans in Ukraine. Fighting rages near Kiev after Russian invasion. Local news in detail now. Secretary to the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Admiral Professor Jayanath Kolambage, said that the country has not agreed for an external mechanism that is created by another faction. He made this remark at a media briefing held at the Information Department today. Although Sri Lanka had been removed from the 30-upon-1 proposal by the Good Governance government, the country is dedicated to act on behalf of the peace and human rights continuously. It is an act under the Charter of United Nations to prepare a mechanism to look into the human rights violations in Sri Lanka. He said he believes that the friendly countries will give their support at the Geneva summit. Committee Council meeting on voting amendments has agreed to conduct the Provincial Council polls under the old system until a new voting system is implemented. The Committee Council has recommended it should be a mixed voting system by 60% on electoral system and another 40% on ratio system. The chairman of the Parliamentary Select Committee, Minister Dinesh Gunawardena, said that the committee has agreed to submit necessary amendments while identifying the rules and regulations on the voting structure. A policy agreement has also been reached to provide additional councillors to the Victory Party to maintain a majority stability at the local government institutions. It has also been decided to demarcate within the district relevant to the electoral and ratio system when preparing new election laws for the parliamentary and the local government. The minister further said that another proposal has been submitted to increase the women representation by 25% as well as the youth representation in all elections. Another ship carrying 38,300 metric tons of petrol will arrive in the country, Secretary to the Ministry of Power and Energy, KDR Olga, said. She said that the ship will arrive from Singapore. She also stated that a request has been made by the central bank to issue letters of credit for $33 million needed to release the stock of fuel. She further said that another 2 ships carrying diesel and burn oil will reach the country within the next few days. The government said that there will be no fuel shortage in the country as sufficient stocks of fuel is maintained. This news broadcast comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The Public Utilities Commission of Sri Lanka, PUCSL, has approved the request made by the Ceylon Electricity Board, CEB, for rotational load shedding today. PUCSL Chairman Janaka Ratnayaka stated that interruptions to the electricity supply of 4 hours and 40 minutes will be imposed in areas mentioned under Groups A, B and C in the power interruptions schedule. In the meantime, power cuts of 5 hours and 15 minutes will be imposed in other areas. As per the schedule, power cuts of 4 hours and 40 minutes are imposed between 8:30 a.m. and 10:30 p.m. in Groups A, B and C. It is divided into 2 slots as 2 hours and 40 minutes in the morning and 2 hours in the night. Meanwhile, for other groups, the power cuts of 5 hours and 15 minutes are imposed between 8:30 a.m. and 11:45 p.m. This is split into 2 slots as 2 hours and 45 minutes in the morning and 2 hours and 30 minutes in the night. The inaugural ceremony of the program to award gold land deeds to 100,000 Mahavali recipients is scheduled to take place tomorrow in Ambilipitia under the patronage of the President and the Prime Minister. Minister Chamal Rajapaksa said land deeds have been handed over to residents in 10 zones. The minister said residents who have been in the area for 40 years will be given deeds. He added that 8,000 residents will receive deeds tomorrow.
The main news news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
In view of escalation of the situation in Ukraine, the Foreign Ministry has instructed the Sri Lankan Embassy in Ankara, which is concurrently accredited to Kiev, to take appropriate measures to coordinate the safe passage of the remaining Sri Lankan nationals in Ukraine. Sri Lankan nationals in Ukraine may, in this regard, contact the hotline established at the Sri Lanka Embassy in Ankara via mobile 090 534 456 9498 or 090 312 427 1032. I repeat the numbers once again, 090 534 456 9498 or 090 312 427 1032. The Foreign Ministry has notified the Embassy Office in Ukraine to take measures to coordinate bringing of Sri Lankans to the country considering the present situation in Ukraine. And that was the main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
This is Watchlight.
Pregnant mothers of several villages in Ahangama are facing many difficulties of not having a building for maternity and child clinics. The Habradu Pradeshya Sabha has not taken any measures to construct a new building for this purpose. Pregnant mothers stated that they have to travel in miles of distance to obtain services. This is for the attention of the Habradu Pradeshya Sabha.
Coming up, World News.
In the headlines, fighting rages near Kiev after Russia invasion. Tough and emotional summit as EU leaders seek unity. Putin says he had no other option over Ukraine. World news in detail now. Ukraine's army is trying to repel a full-scale Russian invasion, with fierce battles taking place close to the capital Kiev. Fighting is raging at an airfield on the outskirts of the city, and it could become a springboard for the Russian army into Kiev if its troops seize it. The Russian assault is being fought on several fronts after it attacked from the east, north and the south yesterday. There have been reports of several explosions in Kiev. Ukraine says dozens of people have been killed while thousands have fled. Just before the emergency EU leaders' meeting on Ukraine started, a Brussels official told he thought this would be one of the toughest and most emotional EU summits ever. Russia's actions in Ukraine impact many EU members directly. It feels personal to them. Their belief that Vladimir Putin has his eye on much more than Ukraine, that he wants to redesign the security architecture of Europe in his favor. Countries in Central and Eastern Europe, which used to be behind the Iron Curtain, now EU and NATO members feel very exposed. Russian President Vladimir Putin says he had no other option but to take military action against Ukraine. Putin made the remark during talks with Russian business leaders yesterday. Russia began military operations across Ukraine the same day. Russia's defense ministry announced that it had attacked 83 ground facilities of the Ukrainian military, including 11 airfields. The ministry's spokesperson, Igor Konashenko, insisted that there is no threat to civilians, saying the attack only targeted military facilities. Back to the headlines of the world news. Fighting rages near Kiev after Russian invasion. Tough and emotional summit as EU leaders seek unity. Putin says he had no other option over Ukraine.
Development News is brought to you by Let's take coal out of the coconut tree and make the island thriving and prosperous. Call our hotline 1928. WhatsApp 070 400 1928.
Japanese ambassador to Sri Lanka, Hideaki Mitsukoshi, yesterday visited two Japanese official development assistance sites in Kandy to see the facilities in service and the progress of construction of the Greater Kandy Water Supply Project and the Kandy City Wastewater Management Project. In the Greater Kandy Water Supply Project, Japan supported the construction of water supply facilities for the Greater Kandy area to alleviate the serious water shortage caused by the rapid population growth.
Development News was brought to you by the coconut tree is well grown in almost all the parts of the island. It is an exceptional source of extra income. The shell, the husk and almost all the parts of the coconut tree makes you money, providing you with an excellent extra source of income. It will also help to nourish the economy of the country. You will be guided with all necessary informations regarding the coconut cultivation, with the novel cultivation techniques and all other related and upgraded informations by the Coconut Research Institute, Lunavilla. Call our hotline 1928. WhatsApp 070 400 1928. Sports News is brought to you by
Sampath Bank. We present your future.
The semi-final round of the Independence Trophy Inter-Provincial Football Tournament will begin today. South, East, North and the Sabaragama provincial teams have qualified for the semi-final rounds. Sabaragama province team and the Southern province will compete today at the Galle National Football Training Centre at 3:30 p.m. Bangladesh captain Tamim Iqbal decided to bat first after winning the toss against Afghanistan in the second ODI in Chattogram and said his side wanted a target of around 260. Hashmatullah Shahidi said that Afghanistan would have bowled first had they won the toss in what is a must-win game for the visitors. And that came to you in cricket news. And we move on to business news next.
Cash through NSP globally and win wonderful gifts locally. From October 1st, 2021 to December 31st, 2022. Remit a minimum of $100 or an equivalent amount in any foreign currency 3 times through NSB U Trust.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Mahindra and Mahindra Limited of India and Ideal Motors in Sri Lanka hand over the first new Bolero City pickup, the first single cab pickup to be assembled in Sri Lanka, to Suren Cook, Director Suren Cook Agencies at the Water's Edge Bathramulla. Yesterday, Mahindra and Ideal Motors, a fully owned subsidiary of the Ideal Group, launched Sri Lanka's first ever locally assembled single cab Bolero City pickup at Water's Edge yesterday.
Business News, sponsored by
Cash through NSP globally and win wonderful gifts locally. Will you be the lucky winner of the NSP Golden Jubilee? 50 gold sovereigns for the top prize winner of the NSP Golden Jubilee. Scooters for the 10 second prize winners. iPhones for the 10 third prize winners. Mountain bikes for the 29 fourth prize winners. From October 1st, 2021 to December 31st, 2022. Remit a minimum of $100 or an equivalent amount in any foreign currency 3 times through NSB U Trust.
Economic news, courtesy of
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibility. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act number 42 of 2011.
Sri Lanka Tourism will host the biggest post-pandemic summit by hosting the Travel Agents Association of India's 66th annual convention in mid-April, drawing over 500 delegates, thereby wooing more holidaymakers from the neighbouring giant market. A tripartite agreement between the Sri Lanka Tourism Promotion Bureau, Sri Lanka Association of Inbound Tour Operators and TAAI was signed yesterday to host the key event with hopes of reviving the COVID-hit tourism sector between the two countries.
I bought my daughter a laptop for her work by managing my finances. Whatever the expenses may be, I can't afford to miss out on life's special moments like her birthday or our anniversary. So you need to invest to make your family's future flourish.
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibilities. That's why we promise to give you the best returns on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act number 42 of 2011.
The Weather Report.
The Met Department says that showers or thundershowers will occur at times in the northern, north central, eastern and Uva provinces and in the Matale and Hambantota districts. Showers or thundershowers will occur at several places elsewhere during the evening or at night. Fairly heavy showers above 50 millimeters can be expected at some places in the western and Sabaragamu provinces and in the Nuwara Galle and Mathura districts. And that was the weather report. To end this news broadcast, back to the headlines. The Secretary to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs says that the country will not agree for an external mechanism that is created by an external faction. The committee council meeting agreed to conduct the provincial council polls under the old system. A ship carrying 38,300 metric tons of petrol will arrive in the island. The electricity supply will be interrupted for 5 hours and 15 minutes today as well. Foreign news, hotline numbers to know information on Sri Lankans in Ukraine. In more foreign news, fighting rages near Kiev after Russian invasion. And with that, we end this news broadcast from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.